Hey everybody, and welcome back to a Gundam product analysis and review. So we're going to take a look at what has happened in the last week of Gunpla. So I have clearly not seen any of this news just yet, but it looks like the most popular article in our tag right now is going to be this perfect grade 1/60 scale armored DE tail stabilizers. This looks pretty cool, though this is going to be pretty expensive. So we're looking right here at about $88 just for the tails. That's pretty insane. But if you're a completionist and you loved Gundam NT, this might be the only way that you can pick this stuff up. So it comes out January 2021. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure if it's worth the price, but I'm pretty sure I might pick one up. All right, and if we're looking back here, it looks like we got these two here, a release for weapon set 10 and 9. So for people who don't know, I'm very certain that this came out a very long time ago, and now they're re-releasing these kits as a part of I don't know, a Gundam base exclusive line. So it really sucks for people who weren't into Gundam back in the day, because these were pretty widely available. You could find them on HLJ very easily. I remember not looking at this set specifically because I thought, oh, well, if I really wanted a Zaku, bazooka, I would just buy a Zaku. Though this does look pretty cool, and I think there's a little bit of modular aspects to it. But I remember really looking into this guy. So weapon set 10, which is going for about $10 now. And it's because of this. It's for the Seed Destiny series. And this rifle here is something that the Strike Noir needs if you want to make the 1/144th scale look like the 1/100th scale. So, and if you want to have the Strike Gundam have the bazooka that he uses in the underwater episodes, then you're definitely going to need to use this. So actually, I've never seen this bazooka with the new Ale Strike Gundam, and this looks pretty great, not going to lie. Actually, I guess the barrel looks like it's a little bit more augmented. I'm not sure why it looks that way. Oh, here you go. This is the shorter barrel. So I would probably put the shorter barrel on, but that's just me. So next up, we kind of have a couple of reviews. The ReRising Gundam was just released, and so we have a couple other people who are reviewing the kit. It's going for about $75. It has a lot of really interesting color choices. You can actually combine all four of the regular Gundams and slap them together, and you'll be able to get this guy. But if you want this gold color and you want its, let me see what it's called here, the Grand Cross Cannon mode, then I would say go ahead and pick this guy up. You get a stand, which is great, and you get all four of the main Gundams in a very unique color scheme. Personally, this might be a pass for me, just because it's not quite my thing, but it is screen accurate, it is show accurate. So if this is something that you're looking to get, then $75, I'd say it's actually not that bad of a deal, especially since you're getting all four kits. Now this one's a little interesting because we have the Eldora Windom, and a couple of things in my personal opinions. I actually like the way that this Eldora Windom looks compared to the regular Windom. So you not only have that, because you have better proportions for the, or not better proportions, I'd say more humanistic proportions for the feet, more like slender looking waists, that kind of thing. It's probably because of the color change, but I think it really helps with that. And the head sculpt actually makes the V fins look less like a a bug. It's $20 premium Bandai, and what's really neat about it is that it actually comes with the Bolden Arms set. So this was a set that came out, I would say maybe about 5 years ago or something like that, and it was actually a really cool set. These came with the joints that you would need to in order to do customs, and you don't really see this set coming out anymore. So if you're a custom builder and you're a person who needs these joints, instead of cannibalizing like a Leo, go ahead and buy this set and you get a Gundam that comes with it. The other cool thing about this is that it actually has very modular weapons that I was very surprised in. So you have the rifle, you have the basic, missile launchers, that kind of stuff that comes with it. But you also get the axe, the shield, which is shaped a little bit differently with some spikes on it. I'm not a big fan of the spikes, but the axe is really cool. So let me scroll down, and the binders. Binders are actually really cool too. So the binders actually double as swords that it can hold, and the axe doubles as a beam saber hilt and a gun. So I think that's very modular. And you can see some comparison shots of the feet here. So I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Let's kind of get here. So here we are. We have this pseudo beam rifle mode. It can flip around and turn into like an axe. And then you also get to carry it into the shield, which is super awesome. And then I think there was a couple of shots here. There we go. You have the beam saber axe, and then where is it? There we go. So you have this changeling rifle sort of deal where you can get the backpack and it turns into a big old gun, or you have some big swords. I think this is pretty cool. And I think for $20, this is a pretty good steal. It has a really nice color scheme. It's a nice dark drab kind of looking thing. Maybe I'll actually make my custom into this, because I actually really like these colors. It's really nice deep red. It's pretty fantastic looking. So this is something that I should have known was coming out, but I didn't know what to expect. But this is the HGAC assault booster for the Geminis Gundam, and you already have a 1/144th scale version of this, but this is obviously brand spanking new, right? So the detail on it looks incredible, looks pretty amazing, lots of panel lining opportunities. And, admittedly, it doesn't look too bad. I personally don't have the Geminis Gundam. I'm not planning on buying it, and I'm not planning on buying this set either. But I have to admit, it looks pretty cool. Now, I'm looking at this real time. This is the first time I'm looking at this article, and not noticing anything that's too crazy. I see lots of the wing binder action that's kind of moving out and in. It kind of looks like this is on a ball joint, which to me kind of breaks the kit. If we're kind of going on and making it breaking it, because you can really only pivot this thing up and down. And I like to flare my stuff out, and maybe it's because I collected a lot of Freedom Gundams back in the day. I really like to be able to flare out my wing binders and not just move them up and down. I feel it's very restrictive. But if this is the design and the shape that the kit is supposed to have, then you can't really complain, right? It's supposed to look like this. That's the restrictions it's supposed to have. And oh, very nice. We have some comparison shots. So it looks like the wing or the shoulder binders are significantly smaller, making it a little bit more compact, a little bit less cartoonish, more mechanistic. So you have a little bit more indentation here, recessed areas, and it looks like you have some part separation, or the appearance of part separation. Now the 1/144th scale kit, I'm pretty sure you can buy for about $10. And this HG, just the expansion pack, is probably going to run you maybe an additional 20. So it really kind of depends on what you're looking for, because put these model kits on your shelf and they're pretty far away, you're not really going to tell the difference. Well, maybe you're going to tell the difference for this one, but so you definitely have some really nice part separation here on the wing binders. This area here is a little bit more protruding out, and the wing binders are a lot wider, a lot taller. Gives it more volume. It's kind of nice. Yeah, you can see it's significantly bigger here. All right, let's see some action poses. So that's pretty cool. I like the little jets on its feet. That's kind of neat. And then there we go. You have some gun shooting poses with the, I think that is the wing binder. I guess it might extend out. Looks like there's a handle there too. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, hold on. These are the wing binders. So what are these? Let me see. Where did those come from? So there are two sets of wing binders, but then where is it on this one here? So I wonder if can you attach everything together? Well, I guess we'll have to wait for the video reviews for whoever happens to purchase this kit. So the next kit I'm going to talk about is this, a review for the HG Gundam Plutone. So I'm not going to pretend to be an expert about the Plutone. I don't know anything about the Plutone, to be completely honest. Other than that, it is like a second generation Gundam. Oh, right here, second generation Gundam. And yeah, it's the predecessor to the Nodle, which you can kind of see in its leg shape. You can kind of see in its head. But what's really interesting about it, to me, are these cables. Basically the old style GN cables that were flowing through the Gundam during season 1. And this is much more exaggerated. And I actually really kind of like that look. It looks very prototype-ish. Now, what I would like to say about this Gundam is that it's actually a very nice design. There's a lot of colors going on. There's a lot of color separation that needs to happen, and it's very simple at the same time. So you just have the shield and the beam rifle. That's it. There's nothing. So people who are looking for a Nodle design, or really like the Nodle, but just didn't like how gimmicky the Nodle is, this is like its own kind of standalone suit that is, pretty much inspired by the Nodle, even though it's supposed to be a predecessor for the Nodle. So we can kind of expect that there will be a lot of recycled gimmicks, parts, articulation from the older Gundam 00 kits, but that's not to say that the Gundam 00 kits were not very good to begin with, because they were actually very good. So you can see here you have the beam saber gimmick. Now I'm also looking at this in real time, so I've not checked this out before. And, it's actually selling me quite well. I think the ribbon cables, even though it looks like it could have been restrictive, is actually not. I think the small feet, I think, are way better than like super giant, and long feet. So I think it has a really good silhouette shape. I think its gimmicks are nice and simple. And I think the older that I get, the more I'm liking Gundam model kits that are not as crazy or flamboyant, or they have less of the gimmicks or accessories. It's just something that's simple and has a good design aesthetic. So a good design for the suit itself, and not necessarily a Gundam that has a lot of playability, if that makes a lot of sense. So you can just see, when you compare it with the Exia actually looks very plain compared to it. This just has a lot more external detail, a lot more color separation, a lot more parts that you can kind of paint and look at. So maybe you're not physically handling the kit, but your eyes have a lot of places to gravitate towards, especially with these verniers here on the sides, the recesses here in the legs, even this arm guard is just very interesting, and even like the small little gimmicks, like being able to hold the beam sabers in its kneecaps, I think it's very, very interesting. So let me see if there's a couple more photos down here below. So you're just trying to talk about the way you attach the excuse me, the shield. And yeah, it looks like it can do all the basic simple stuff that you would want this Plutone to do. And it even looks like it has a little core block kind of system too, so that's actually pretty neat, I'm not gonna lie. Throwing beam sabers, all that good stuff. Now, I think this kit runs around like 2,500 yen. I could be wrong. But, oh yeah, right here. So about $25, right? Limited Bandai, $25. Now, for me, it's like a maybe. I might maybe buy this, but I'm not going to go out of my way to buy it. But it is a nice looking kit. Not going to lie about that. All right, and I think this is gonna be the last one for now, but everyone was hyped up about this kit. It's the shooting effect part set for Zeon at about $100. Now this, I have quite a bit to say. Now I'm a huge real grade fan. I love real grades, but this one I might have to pass up on. Why? This price point is gigantic. You're already buying the actual Zeon set. That's probably going to cost about $60. Now you have to pay another $100 to get the shooting effect set. And you do get the special display base and the special beam effect parts, but it is not coming with the RX-78 Gundam. So that means you have to buy another real grade on top of that. So in order to get this full diorama that they display here, this is already going to cost about $150, right? This is going to cost you about $200 because you still have to buy, you know, the RX-78, and God knows how expensive that kit is. It's probably around $20, but still, if you're rounding up, it's basically about $200 for everything that you see here. So, as cool as this is also pretty, I don't know, it's an odd shape. So it looks really cool, right? And you have infinite amount of space. This will look awesome. But the problem is people don't have infinite amount of space. And usually you're gonna store your model kits like in a, what do you call them? Are they called DTOF cases? I'm not sure. Yeah, DTOF display cases, right? These tower looking ones. And you don't really have that much vertical space. You may have a little bit, but this, I believe that this is gonna go to that very tippy top edge where it might take up the entire space or a little bit more. So sure, you can put it on a desk or something like that. If you really, really enjoy the scene, they mass produced it for you. You got it, you're able to create this if you want. But it's just, it's very, there's a lot of reasons for me to not get it. And you do get a lot of plastic. So a lot of people will probably argue, well, you get a lot of plastic that comes with this. And that's true, but are you gonna use all of the plastic? So say you create this scene. You create this scene and your Zeong now doesn't have a head. Can you use any of these other parts plus the Zeong? Most likely not. Now, if they had this set, right? They had this $100 set that came with all the effect parts and another head. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but another head of the Zeong, I would be a little bit more okay with that. Instead of buying the whole Zeong, you can still recreate this entire scene with the Zeong head, with the base, with another additional RX-78 real grade, and then it would work. So the other thing I'm kind of curious about is whether or not this beam effect part actually works with all beam rifles, or if it only works with this specific one. So there is a real grade 1/144th scale RX-78 that is within my family, but I don't have it here with me, so I wouldn't be able to see its compatibility with, say, a normal Gundam Revive, right? Or the new entry grade that's coming out. Because if you can get the entry grade, you can put this stuff on and you can recreate the scene. I think it would look pretty good. And you would only be paying an extra $8 compared to maybe an extra $20, $25. Then I'd be a little bit more okay with it. But from the looks of it, you get these effect parts and this action base, but for $100. Like, this action base should be $30 at most. And then, so 1, 2, 3, right? These are basically, actually, yeah, it's 3. So it's about $30 here. And so you're essentially paying $60 extra just for the beam effect parts. Like, something doesn't seem quite right. So I know a lot of people are hyped up on this, and I don't want to burst anyone's bubble or like be a Debbie Downer about it, but it seems pretty overpriced for me. And if I was going to get anything out of these 3 things, or any of the stuff that has been released, I'd probably just get the Zeong. Just the plain old Zeong, not put in any like crazy pose, because like, look at how much real estate is going to take, because this arm is already coming off of the action base, right? So you have to have the real estate to accommodate these 3 action bases plus the arm actually coming out and extending out, and then the beam sabers coming out. That's gigantic. I would say that's got to be at least, okay, I'm looking at my desk right now, and I'm pretty sure that this whole thing is going to fit in a box of around, like, what, 2 feet? 2 feet by 1 foot? Something like that? I mean, you don't want to clutter your Gunpla, because then you need like, some space for each model kit to kind of breathe a little. So, it's gonna take a lot of space. I'm not gonna lie. And it looks like these kits are just getting bigger and bigger, man. But yeah, kind of a long rant, but I think those are my 2 cents on the whole thing. I'm just not feeling the set. I mean, great for Gunpla 40th anniversary and Bandai Spirits and everything like that. And I think these, true, it is one of the most iconic scenes in Gundam history. So it makes sense that they would want to sell something like this, because I don't think in any other form, master grade, perfect grade, any other high grade form, that they've recreated this scene, or made a way for you to recreate this scene without having to be an amazing custom builder, right? So it's great for the masses, I think, but it's probably just not for me. As always, thank you so much for everyone who was able to log in today. Now remember, all of these opinions are just my opinion. Don't worry about it if I said something that you didn't really like about a particular kit or not. I still believe that if you like a design, it doesn't matter how good the model kit is, it doesn't matter how expensive it is, you should get what you like. And that's how you will truly be able to enjoy Gunpla. Now I hope that everybody has a nice day, and I'll catch you all next time.